With the second trailer of Spider-Man No Way Home having come out recently, it has all but confirmed that both former live-action Spider-Man Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in the movie. But in this video, we're going to present all the evidence proving once and for all that they are in the movie. Hey Nerdgenic Nation, I'm superhero nerd Aaron Waller, and as you know, I have been obsessed with all things No Way Home as of late. And despite the actor's claims as to not being in the film and refuting some of the evidence presented here today, we're going to prove otherwise and that they are in fact in Spider-Man No Way Home. But before I provide that evidence, let's once again go over the plot for Spider-Man No Way Home. Having had his secret identity exposed, Peter Parker seeks the help of Doctor Strange to cast a spell to make everyone forget that he's Spider-Man. However, it goes wrong, and instead, various Spider-Man villains from other universes enter our own and are tracking Peter down. And now for your internet judgment, may I present you the evidence as to why both Tobey and Andrew are in No Way Home. This piece of evidence has been circulating the internet and shows Andrew Garfield in full Spider-Man suit talking to someone and another Spider-Man hand that appears to be that of Tobey Maguire's suit in the foreground. Now this has been analyzed to death and even been investigated by the Corridor Crew channel as to its validity and if it could possibly be a deepfake, to which they determined no, it's likely not. Now Andrew Garfield has been questioned about this video and stated that it is fake, as well as stated that he is not in the film several times. But let's take note of where Andrew Garfield is with the scaffolding around him. This will be very prominent in the rest of the evidence and further build our case. These images too came out months ago and show a very blurry and very far away image of two men in Spider-Man suits, one being Maguire's suit and the other being Garfield's. This image also depicts the previously mentioned scaffolding and could be another angle of the video just shown of Andrew Garfield talking to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and strategizing before the fight. Next up, we have several images from the set and behind the scenes of Spider-Man No Way Home, which were leaked just recently, including this one showing all three Spider-Men somewhere high and with the city behind them. Now if we use the previous two pieces of evidence and some upcoming, we can put the pieces together as to the scene that's likely going to be unfolding in the final film and about to be before the final fight, before the Spider-Men go up against the barrage of various villains. This piece has got to be probably the biggest nail in the coffin, as it actually contains three smaller pieces of evidence that we can put together and conclude that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in the movie without actually confirming it. First, we have a quote from Doctor Strange.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
We know the multiverse will be involved in this movie as we get confirmation in the trailer and other villains from other universes are coming after Peter. This and Doc Ock confirms that when unmasking Tom Holland's Spider-Man that he's not Peter Parker, meaning this Peter is from the Sam Raimi trilogy. And though this could likely be an out of context quote and be happening earlier when they first access the multiverse, the way the trailer is edited very much implies that this is happening later in the film as the multiverse comes closer and closer to collapse. Also in the trailer we see the villains from other Spider-Man movies, including Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, Jamie Foxx's Electro, Lizard, and Sandman. Now some of these may be variations or variants, as Jamie Foxx's Electro is vastly different from his appearance in 2014's The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But given his return along with other Spider-Man villains, even if he is from a different universe other than Andrew Garfield's, we can only assume that these two will go toe-to-toe at some point. I also want to point out this other steaming goblin who appears in the trailer that if you blink you might just miss. It somewhat appears to be the snowboard goblin that Harry becomes during Spider-Man 3, though it could also be Jacob Batalon's goblin, as Ned Leeds does become a goblin in the comics and could allude to him becoming evil in another universe, very much as what happened between Peter and Harry during the Raimi movies. And finally, during this trailer they all but recreate the Gwen falling to her death scene, also from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but this time with Zendaya's Mary Jane and Tom Holland's Spider-Man leaping to catch her in time. Now I really hope they don't kill off MJ in this series, as Zendaya's character is really great and refreshing, but the fact that they're recreating it does not bode well. Though I do hope that in the event they do go forward with recreating this scene, that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man will have told Tom Holland about the biggest mistake in accidentally killing Gwen when trying to save her, and thus Tom Holland's Spider-Man is able to prevent his MJ's death. Now we know that Marvel has edited footage from their trailers that either does not appear in the final film or is altered in some way. Case in point with the Hulk running with the Avengers during the Wakanda battle in Avengers Infinity War, which actually in the movie was Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster armor. Now in the No Way Home trailer released by Sony Pictures Brazil, during the scene of Spider-Man going up against a wall of villains, Lizard and some of the other villains are going straight, rather than the villains all going together to converge on Spider-Man. And you may be asking, why is this? It's because the other two Spider-Man have been edited out of this scene. And to add further evidence to this fact, in the Brazilian trailer, Lizard gets seemingly kicked or punched by the air. Now this has been edited out, but thanks to the good people of the internet, you can see right here Lizard taking said impact. So we can clearly see that this is an edited scene from the film, but it makes sense with previously presented evidence. It's extremely likely that the person facing off against Lizard is one of the other Spider-Men, likely Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. 5 damning pieces of evidence confirming the return of former Spider-Man Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man No Way Home. I think there's some pretty compelling arguments and evidence here, and this is only what's come out so far. And I'm not saying that they'll be in the entire film, but it does seem like they'll be involved in the final battle to some degree at the Statue of Liberty with the scaffolding surrounding it. I almost guarantee it. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think the evidence that I presented all but confirms the return of the 2 previous live-action Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss on any future videos like the biggest news from Disney Plus Day right here, or check out this playlist of my weekly history of series where we give the comic book history of various characters, both heroes and villains. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, we really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.